Hey everybody, Ray Pastore here, Dr. Ray. I am live. I have been super busy over the last few weeks, so let me talk a little bit about that. Let you guys know all the cool stuff that I'm doing. Let me just check my ear. Yeah, sound's working, everything's working, good. All right, so yes, I've been just crazy busy lately. It seems like I can't get a free minute. So I have like this. It's kind of pathetic. I've been so busy, so I created this thing, this and it's, I mean, basic. Everyone has one, I guess. I just didn't. My to-do list. I created a to-do list, which is like something new for me. I never create a to-do list. That's like not my thing. I'm really good at just remembering and like staying on top of things, but I've been falling behind. Even emails, like I'm falling behind. So I created a to-do list, and basically every time I cross something off, I'm adding like two more things. I can't figure it out. So I'm really, really, really trying to get stuff done and catch up. But I haven't been live. I was live once last week, and I am gonna catch up in the next 2 weeks. It's gonna take me that long to catch up. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to be live a little more. I'm gonna do. I didn't do my learning live session last week, and couldn't do it this week because I was in meetings. But I'm gonna try to do both of them to between today and tomorrow. So look for that. I'm gonna do my learning live sessions, one on instructional design, one on esports, in the next day or two. So that's coming. So watch out for that. Definitely, definitely, definitely coming. So I've just been really busy. I've just been in tons of meetings and just been working on some stuff. So let me talk a little bit about that, talk about things that have been happening in my personal life, things have been happening with school, esports stuff, all kinds of good stuff like that. So first of all, besides being really busy, besides having my learning live sessions come back today, so I posed this question on LinkedIn today, and are we having more meetings? Because so everyone I talk to right now on LinkedIn, or I mean in Zoom, whenever I'm in a Zoom meeting right now, every single person says, "Oh, I'm just in Zoom all day long. I have so many meetings." It's literally every person is saying the same thing. Now, there is that strategy of always say you're busy, so people assume you're really busy. It's a great like working strategy, especially like for management. Like always tell them you're really busy so that they think you're like working really hard. So there is like that component of this. But I personally am actually in Zoom meetings like all day long. I really am. And I assume everyone else is too. It's just craziness. Now, so I posed the question, are we having more meetings now that most people are working from home? So are we having more meetings, or is it that we've realized that Zoom is so easy, it's like you're just home and relax and stuff, that it's so quick and easy to just say, hey, let's talk via Zoom. Like it's almost easier to have a meeting now rather than getting everyone gathered up, making sure everyone, like my work, the way we work in higher ed at least, is sometimes people are home, people are in the office, and it was always tough to like juggle someone's schedule, but now it's much easier because everyone's just home. So maybe we are having more meetings because it's easier to have them. I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100% sure what the answer is to that. But I know I'm part of the problem because I'm scheduling a bunch of meetings. So, I am part of this problem. Yeah, I'm wearing a hat today. My hair's a little messy. It's really not, actually. I just worked out. I was down in my garage. I lifted this morning, and I haven't even showered yet because it was like kind of cold. So I'm not even like, oh yeah, hair's not terrible, right? Is it bad? No, it's not terrible. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I don't really need a hat. Ugh, I can't even like brush my hair correctly. Oh my goodness. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So where was I? So yeah, I just can't figure out like have we been having more meetings or whatnot. It's kind of crazy to think about, and I'm curious what other people are doing. So let me know in the chat or like comment on the video if you're watching this not live, and let me know like what's going on. Like, are you having more meetings or not? I'm just really curious to see what's going on with other people. Okay, so we got that. I talked a little bit about the meeting stuff. Next thing I wanted to talk about, so I've been playing a lot with like my camera, my studio. I've been playing a lot with my studio lately, like really setting things up. I added one of the circle lights. It's actually to the side of me because, so I have a couple different setups here. When I do these, when I make my, this live stuff, and I put these on podcast too, so I know people are just listening to these, so I don't usually show anything. So I'm not really going to show my setup right now. I'll do that in another video, and I have done that, shown everyone my desk, but I kind of rearranged it, so I need to do another one. But when I do my interviews, I'm actually facing to the side so that you can see like my computer and stuff. So I've been using this background right here. So this is a cool, for those of you listening, I'll explain it, but basically it has a bunch of old like Apple computers, like old school computers, and like a bunch of like discs, like old school games and Atari games and stuff up on the wall. So everyone that I'm in Zoom meetings with actually thinks this is my real background, because it's like the way I'm sitting kind of makes it appear that way. But it's totally not my real background. For example, and for those of you watching, you can actually see this. For those of you listening, I'll just describe it. When I click off of it, wow, you don't even see anything. You can't even see my green screen. You just see like my browser window halfway open. I thought my green screen was going to show, but apparently it's not, because I have a chroma filter on it to hide the green color. But this is a fake background that I'm on, which is pretty obvious, I think, right now, because you can like see my shirt. Like, I feel like you can see some of the pixelation of the green screen. It's not great. I don't think that it looks real to me, but a lot of people seem to be tricked by it, which is this is my real background. I'm going for that. This is especially like I got an Atari shirt on and they say something about Atari, and I'll like pull up like my Pong machine and be like, yeah, see, I got the other one right here, like Atari. I pull up like my old Pong machine, and like, it's just kind of funny to see that. So anyway. So one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been playing with my kids, and I've been teaching them, I love games, I love gaming. I've been teaching them how to use the Rubik's Cube and how to do it. So how do you do the Rubik's Cube? And I've been teaching them all the patterns. And what's interesting, so when I first did the Rubik's Cube with my kids, it takes me like, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes to do this thing. I have a student that actually does this in seconds. He's like ranked in my state and stuff. And I've asked him a bunch of questions like, he can do it in like 8 seconds. He can put this together. And I've asked him questions like, can you make money in Rubik's Cube being a professional and stuff? And no, you can't at all. There's no money in being a professional Rubik's Cube person. So if you want to like break the world record in Rubik's Cube, like you don't get too much out of it. So you might not want to do it. But my kids are amazed that I can do it. And what I showed them is how simple it is. This is a pattern. This is just one big pattern. Now, there's a bunch of ways to solve it, but you just learn, like, there's a mainly basic pattern to do the Rubik's Cube. And basically, all that you do is you start with a top layer, you create a top, then you create the next row, next row, next row, top. Just in a simple order, very basic. There's patterns for each one of those, and it allows you to build it really quick. Now, those guys who are professionals and can do it, like, in 8 seconds are just amazing. It looks like they're, like done. Like, I don't even know what they're doing. Like, they're using a different kind of Rubik's Cube, apparently. Like, I have, like, the traditional, like, real one. They have, like, one that, like, turns specially really super fast and stuff. But anyway, I've been teaching my kid. He's 9. He's turning 10 this month, actually. And it's just really interesting to watch him, how amazed he is, and to see that it's not like just this like being smart, I can do the Rubik's Cube. It's really just memorizing like a couple pattern schemes that are pretty basic. Some of them are only like 4 steps, like 4 to 8 steps, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like about 5 or 6 patterns to actually complete the Rubik's Cube in a couple minutes. So it's kind of interesting to watch that and kind of cool. So, all right, next thing. Esports stuff. So I've mentioned this over the last 2 weeks. Esports website is done at UNCW. I'm so excited. So the address, uncw.edu/esports. Go there. All the stuff for our university esports is there. One of the big things that's happened now, so now that we have this website up, what I am looking for is I'm looking for funding. So if you're watching this and you have like money to donate, or you are like a part of a company that wants to donate equipment, get that tax write-off, get like your name on our stuff, we can help sponsor, we can get your name on our website. Once we get a room, we'll get your name like there, all that kind of great stuff. Please, we are looking. Yes, we need your money. No, but seriously, I'm reaching out to companies, and especially companies in North Carolina is where I'm kind of starting. And I'm trying. So what we have, so currently we have a club, we have club teams who are competitive, and we have a certificate program. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a room, and we're trying to get varsity teams. And in order to do that, we need money to do it, because so rooms and spacing on my campus is like craziness. So I started in at UNCW in 2010. We're in 2020 right now. Our campus has went from like, I don't know, about 12,000 students to 19,000. We've expanded significantly. We've grown by a third. So what that means is that we don't have any space. We're out of space. So it's very difficult to get classrooms. So I'm looking for a dedicated esports room where, and once we get this dedicated esports room, we can get equipment for it. We'll have a coach, which will probably be me being the head coach, and then like an individual coach for each team. I'll be kind of like in charge of all those coaches and the teams in general. And then we'll be able to compete at the varsity level. But we need some funding to do that. We need either equipment donations, help. We just need help. I mean, we need help. We have a lot of people supporting our effort, but we just don't have the finances or the equipment. So we're trying to get that. So that's kind of like a big thing I'm working on right now, is getting that. And having said that, I was talking to someone yesterday, and it's interesting. Like, so after coronavirus, a lot of people went online. And what I wonder is how many of them are staying online. So, like, once coronavirus is eventually over at some point and we have a vaccine and all that stuff, what's going to happen in higher ed? Are we going to go just back to the way it was? Or are we going to, so like, is space going to open up on my campus? Because we're not going to need as many rooms, because some people are going to stay online. Like, my program has always been online. I only teach online right now. And I do that because I see tons of advantages in teaching online, and I do the learning live stuff for some face-to-face stuff. I think I need more face-to-face stuff, but the online component that I'm doing, I think, is more advantageous. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at universities, like with their buildings. Like, do we need the space that we have? And so maybe a building will open up that esports can take over. Not building, but I mean, yes, I want a building, but a room, a nice size room. So anyway, so that's kind of like what's going on in esports world at UNCW. And I've just been so busy over the last 2 weeks. I've been hardly like doing anything with it, because I've been in so many meetings with all these other things, all these projects that I'm working on. Okay, let's get into some personal stuff. So how long have I been going for right now? I've been recording for not that, like 12 minutes. Jeez, today is quick. So yeah, anyway, I haven't even eaten breakfast yet today. I literally woke up, I lifted. Yesterday I went surfing. I've actually been surfing a bunch, and today I lifted weights, and I got to do some stuff today. I'm gonna try to run to this store. Gonna schedule some meetings. No, I've actually got some cool interviews coming up. Not next week, but the week after. So look for that. They're gonna be pretty cool. I don't want to spoil them and jinx myself that they like won't happen. But I got some cool interviews coming up, which is going to be kind of exciting. But yeah, so I went surfing yesterday. I lifted today. I had like a protein shake, and I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. So after this, I'm actually going to eat breakfast, get a shower, and pretty much start my day. I got some stuff to do. But so one of the things, so I went surfing yesterday, and I actually mentioned this the other day, that when I presented, that I felt like when I went surfing over when we had a big hurricane swell 2 weeks ago, that I felt a little underpowered on my current surfboard. And so I went and priced out boards, and they're like $700 about, which it's not that that's too pricey, but it is, because I can actually found out that I can make a board for like $200. And the thing is, I have pretty much all the tools that I need. So I'm gonna give myself a new project. It'll be like a weekend thing, a weekend project for fun. And I love painting and doing art and everything, but I'm making a surfboard. So I'm actually going to go, I got to call the company today and go pick up the materials. So I'm going to take pictures and create a video of me making a surfboard, my first one, and we'll see how that works out. But to start, it's kind of cool. So I downloaded this free app on my phone. Well, I knew what kind of board I wanted, but I downloaded this free app called iShaper. So if you have an iPhone, you can download this. It's called iShaper, and it's free. So I'm giving them a little, plug here because it's free. Anything free, I'll plug them up. I want people to use it, and then you use it. And if you use it and like it, like donate and give them some money, like you would have paid for it. But it's a pretty cool. So it's a surfboard shaping app, and basically what you do is you create the dimensions of your surfboard, and then and I'll actually show you guys who are here and can see it. But you create the dimensions of your surfboard on the app. You create your board, and then you're able to print it out. So you can see I have it. Here's my print out. And basically what it is it's a stencil, like a template. And you tape all the papers together that you printed out, because it prints out in real size, and you create like this huge like pattern stencil thing, template, that you trace onto a piece of foam and cut your board out. So it's kind of cool. It was free, and I got to play with it, and it was fun. It was a really simple app to use. Grateful for the guy that created it, and it's awesome. So I give them a little plug. So I'm making a surfboard, which is kind of cool. Other personal stuff that's going on. We went camping over the weekend. We went to Carolina Beach State Park, which it was fun. We had a private little tent. The mosquitoes were absolutely crazy. I was like getting eaten, like just killing me, man. These mosquitoes. That was not fun, and they really like attacked hard. And that wasn't fun. We didn't get to see any Venus flytraps, and that's kind of an interesting thing. So Venus flytraps only grow in Wilmington, North Carolina. Well, within 60 miles of us. We're the only place on Earth where they naturally grow. So that's kind of cool. We didn't get to see any this trip, which kind of stinks, but that's okay. We did a bunch of other fun stuff, like had a fire and all that fun stuff. Me and my wife each got around 2 hours of sleep, which was great. Super fun, getting 2 hours of sleep in a night. Oh, so this is kind of a funny story. So in the middle of camping, so it's like, I don't know, like 9 at night. So I had just went in the tent. So we have a big like 10-person tent. So first of all, we got this tent so I used to have a 10-person, and it would take me like an hour to set up, and I'd get so angry setting this thing up because it felt like it was going to break and snap in my hands, and it would take me like an hour, and I'd be so sweaty setting it up, and then you're just sweaty the rest of the trip. But I got this new tent last year that pops up. It takes me 2 minutes. So it's a huge tent, pops up in 2 minutes. So the kids are in it trying to go to sleep, and I went in, and my wife was still sitting out by the fire. She was going to come in a couple minutes. All of a sudden I hear this scream. So she screams. She says, an animal. I think it's a raccoon. She is standing up on the picnic table. She's literally standing on a picnic table. So me and the kids all jump up. I get the flashlight, and I shine it outside the windows of the tent, and I see the raccoon running around. He runs around the tent like 2 times. And then I shine the light on it. Like I have like one of those flashlights that can zoom in and out. So I zoom in on the raccoon, and as soon as the bright light's on him, he just takes off full speed. I mean, raccoons are scared of people. They don't usually come around people. If they think we're sleeping, they might to get food. But so I said to my wife, so he must have thought we were all sleeping because we were quiet all of a sudden. So he came to get his nightly food. He's around a campsite. He's probably used to coming in and stealing food. So I said to my wife, so before I went to bed, I put all the food in the car, because like the first rule of camping is food goes away from people. Food is in a car, and if you're camping and you don't have your car, your food, you tie it to a tree, and it's got to be like, at least like 6 to 8 feet above you, like hanging up there, right? So like a bear, raccoon, animals can't get to it. So I said to my wife, when I said I'm putting all the food away and I asked you for all the food, that was all the food, right? And she said, yeah. She said, except for this one cooler that I left out that has half a sub in it. And I said, a sub? I go, do you know how smelly those are? I go, I can smell those. I go, when I said we have to put all the food in the car, you left that out. And then she had food in the tent. Oh my God. I was like, okay. I explained it earlier. I said, when you camp, you can't, and we've camped a bunch of times, so she knows this. I said, you can't have food she probably just thinks I'm crazy, like putting the food away for fun or something. Um, but I said, like, you cannot have food at a campsite. And when you go to bed, you got to put the food away. And I said, that means all food. We don't like keep a sub on the picnic bench in a little cooler, a cooler bag, not even like one of the plastic ones that will at least hide the scent. And you don't keep snacks in the tent. I was like, we're gonna have raccoons digging in our tent all night. So I put all the food away. We had no more incidents during camping, which was good. Um, so anyway, other stuff that's going on. So and I do want to talk a little bit. I'm going to talk about the debate for a second too. I'll do that last actually. So other stuff that's going on. So I'm going away next week. I'm going to see my parents, which is kind of cool, and so that'll be fun. We're going to see my family, and the kids are excited to do that. My brother and his wife and son are going to go too. We've all kind of been quarantining for the last week, just being extra careful, not playing with friends and stuff like that. Just so we can see everybody and be safe. And I'm excited. I'm going up to PA, which PA's awesome in this time of the year because it's fall there. Like, they have real fall. Like, we don't, where I live, we don't have fall. They have fall. I mean, nights are like down to like 30, 40 degrees, and the day it's like 60. Like, they have fall where leaves are changing. And October's cool there because there's so much Halloween stuff going on. They've got corn mazes and all kinds of cool stuff. So we're really excited to do that. We're going to be there for 5 days. So I'm trying to also get a lot of work done this week so that I don't have to do a lot while I'm there. I'm trying to take somewhat vacation. So like my calendar, I know, I have hardly any meetings next week already. So I've like blocked it off. I'm going to try to not really do any work. I'll probably go live one day there just because I can do that pretty easily. Oh, and having said that, I talked to my mom yesterday. She's not feeling well. She hasn't felt well for 3 days. She's been sick. I'm like, what do you mean sick? She's just been sick, like not feeling good. And I'm like, oh, great. So, so I said, she's like, well, I don't have a fever. She's just like having some stomach issues and stuff like that. So I was like, but it's been 3 days. I was like, that's sick. That's kind of serious. I was like, you need to get tested for coronavirus before we come visit you. I was like, if you've been sick for 3 days, I was like, she's like, well, I haven't had a fever. I'm like, well, it hits everyone differently. Like, we know people that have had it, they've just been tired, and we know people that have been hospitalized, like from having literally hardly any symptoms to extreme symptoms. So I said, you got to get tested. She's like, well, I don't need to get tested. I haven't been around anyone. And my dad's there because my parents talk on the phone. They're both on the phone and they both just argue with each other the whole time. Like, he's like, she doesn't know, or doesn't know what he's talking about, like, kind of thing. It's funny, like how you picture like old, like if you watch like any of the old Seinfelds or anything with like the parents, that's my parents. Like they're stereotypically like the people like that. But so my mom's like, well, I haven't even been around any people, so I don't have a fever, so I can't have it. My dad's like, yes, you have. You went to this store, this store, this store. You got a haircut. I'm like, oh my God, you did all that stuff? She got a haircut, went to like 10 stores, and is like, I can't have coronavirus. I'm like, each time you did something, I'm not saying you shouldn't be going to stores or getting a haircut. I'm just saying, like, that's a risk. Each time you do that, that's a calculated risk. So, like, she could absolutely have it. But anyway, she did get tested last night, and she just texted me earlier today. She is negative, so she doesn't have it, so that's good. So it was just she probably just ate something bad or whatever. But so she doesn't have it. So we are going. And, okay, so that's all personal stuff. So I've talked about me being busy. I've talked about some Zoom stuff that's been going on at school and just like all my meetings. I talked a little bit about some stuff I'm doing with my kids, the Rubik's Cube. Oh, something funny. And I talked about the esports stuff and personal stuff. Two more things. I'm going to talk about one funny thing my son did, and then I'm going to talk about the debate. So my kid, so my 5-year-old, so my first kid, when we first had our first kid, he like wasn't allowed to really watch TV till he was like 4. Never played video games till he was older. My 5-year-old, by like kid number 3, we've given up all that. Kid number 3, so my 9-year-old, we allowed him to play Fortnite with me last year at 9 years old, 1 day a week for an hour with me. That was his birthday present. My 5-year-old is basically, we've given up due to coronavirus and everything else. We've basically given up all of that, and my 5-year-old's allowed to pretty much do whatever he wants. No, not really, but he just gets a lot more freedom than the other two had at his age. So he's playing Roblox, which is fine because he actually plays with his brothers. They all play together. They play like these parkour games where you like have to do all these obstacle courses, which is fine. And they're playing this game called Piggy, which we're not thrilled about because it's like Peppa Pig, but like a little horror to an extent. We're not thrilled with it, but it's not terrible. And the thing is, they all play together, so it kind of like they're all doing something together sometimes, not like beating each other. Like you hear like screams as I'm like doing these videos because kids are like, I got 3 boys and they're like boys. They like fight, sibling rivalry kind of thing. It's funny. My littlest one, when he's getting beat up by one of the other two, just goes security, and the other one has to come and help him. Like kind of funny, but anyway. He couldn't sign in the Roblox for the last 2 days, and we can't figure out what's going on. And we tried with my other kid's account, and they could get in. Then my oldest goes, let me try. And he tries, and he's like, oh, he got banned for spam chatting. Oh, my God. My 5-year-old got banned from a video game. He got banned from Roblox. Apparently, he went on the computer and was just typing in a bunch of numbers in the chat. And he is 5. He doesn't know what he was doing. And got banned for spam chatting. So my 5-year-old got banned from a video game. So kind of funny. I think that's kind of hilarious and kind of fun. Yep. First kid to get banned, 5 years old, from Roblox. I just think that's hilarious. And it's just funny knowing his personality. Like, he has no clue what he was doing. He probably had it for like 2 minutes, just randomly on the computer when no one was watching for like 2 minutes, just sat there and was banging on keys and got banned. So that's hilarious. Okay, last thing, debate. So let's talk about the debate. So I see everything on Facebook about the debate. Everyone's talking about the debate. I don't talk about politics at all. So let me talk about why I don't talk about politics. The reason I don't talk about politics is because it's a waste of my time. It is a waste of my time to think about politics. It is a waste of my time to get stressed about politics. And unless I am out there like campaigning and either like out there as like a person who's getting actively involved, or I'm like running for office or something, it's literally a waste of stress, waste of my life, and a waste of time. Do I care about issues? Yes. Do I vote? Yes. But I just don't feel the need to go out and let everyone know about it and talk about all the stuff that I believe or don't believe in. But I can tell you a little bit about it, and I know I've talked about this before. So my personal beliefs is that, first of all, I do not believe in like a party, like am I part of something. I believe in issues. I look at every single issue and I analyze it and I examine it and I say, well, here, and I want to look at like, well, why was this started and what's the history of it and what's been happening and what are the good and bad things about it. And I'd like to come up with a solution. That's it. And people ask me like, well, what do you think about this? Did you hear about this in the news? And I'm like, I heard a little bit about it. Maybe I saw posts on Facebook about it, but like, I haven't done all the research on it to form an opinion about it. Maybe it sounds bad. Like I read one post and it sounds really bad. And I read another post and it sounds like it's not bad. And I don't know, unless I'm sitting there, like doing the research and like, I can't formulate an opinion on this stuff. I'm sorry. And the thing is, if I were to start to try to formulate opinions on all this stuff and do all that research, guess what? I'd be out of work. Because it would take me all day long because people are just posting. News is posting something. New issue. I don't have time to keep up with all these issues. And I can't figure out how my friends on Facebook and everyone else has time to keep up with all these issues. So they are either not working and doing anything else and all they're doing is researching this stuff all day long, or they're literally just forming opinions based on like a Facebook meme. I don't know. But I don't have time for that. I've got like work and other stuff to do. So like I just can't do it. So I did watch the news. Or I mean the debate. No, I watched 15 minutes of the debate and had to turn it off because I was like, I can't watch it. It was like, was a weird thing to watch. I guess they were like, and everyone's been talking about how they were like yelling back and forth and just interrupting each other. But yeah, it was really, the whole structure of it is just crazy. Like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like, I don't know, like if the person was talking too long, there was like a pie throw in the face. No, I don't know. That would be kind of funny, but or like a dunk tank. Like if you say something that's not factual, that's incorrect, like you get dunked. Like things like that would make it pretty interesting, and I would probably want to watch it if things like that were happening. Um, but like as far as the candidates go, I watched like 15 minutes, and I watched enough to know like I couldn't really tell what I was seeing and what they were saying, and there's no like debate. It was really just a whole strange scenario. I was like, this is really poorly planned. I mean, and I can't necessarily blame the candidates. I more or less blame the people that put it all together. Like they knew that's what it was going to be like unless they did something about it, and they apparently didn't do anything about it. So they say they're going to do some reformatting for the next one, which we'll see, but I don't know. I mean, we shall see, right? It just was pretty bad, and I can't. I just was gonna go crazy if I continued to watch that. And they have it until late at night. Like I don't want to watch something at 9 p.m. at night. Like I try to go to bed by like 9:30. Like so, I watched it for 15, 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm done. I'm going to bed. Like put it on at like 7 when people can actually watch this stuff. And I get that that's like Pacific time, like 4 p.m. for them, but I'd rather have more people watch it. Like, don't have it so late at night, and have a different format. Like, very easily, like, allow the moderator to shut the mic off of the one person. How hard would that have been? How difficult, seriously, would that have been? The other thing about these debates that's actually absolutely ridiculous is we can't ask any good questions. They're all lobbing, they're all softball questions. I've never seen a debate where they've asked hard questions. Ooh, maybe they ask a hard question like, what's your plan for healthcare? Or something like that. Or like, you didn't do anything about this, like why? But like, ask good questions and make them say an answer. Seriously, ask good questions, make them say an answer. Like just everybody sit there silent until they answer it. Like ask good questions. And ask questions about like the stuff they lie about all the time on TV. Or whatever, or have done in the past. Like ask them these questions, ask them the tough stuff. I could come up with questions in 1 second to ask these people. I want to know the answer. Explain it. Like, let me come in there and ask them questions. I'll ask all kinds of crazy stuff. Let some good interviewer come in and just ask them, like, wacky stuff that, like, we want to know. Have them, what would be hilarious? Have them sit there and, like, take, like, a history test to show, like, if they know American history, or, like, anything. Like, stuff like that would be hilarious. Like, they don't, like, imagine them coming in and not knowing what to expect. Like, maybe they were going to be asked some hard questions. Maybe they're going to be asked to do things. Like, have them do things. Like, is the president physically fit? Let's see you do 10 push-ups. No, maybe that's a little, like, overboard. But that would be kind of funny. But you could definitely do, like, cool stuff. Like, you know what? The first part of this debate, we're going to do an IQ test. Second part, you guys are going to answer questions. We're going to put countries up on a map, and you have to point them out to see if you know geography. We're going to ask you about, like, the Constitution. Like, just randomly say to the president or the vice president, like, whatever they are, former vice president and president, whoever's up there debating, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's man, woman, vice president, president, whatever. Whoever's up, if there's 10 people up there debating. And you know what? They should do this in the primaries, too, with all those people up there. And just say, like, what's the third amendment to the Constitution? Tell me it. And that would be hilarious if they like don't know it. You'd be like, well, how are you running for president if you like you don't even know the Constitution? Like, let's get smart people and let's like, boom, like call stuff out like that. Like that's what I would do in class to students when I teach lives. I ask them stuff like, what is this? What is that? Like I ask them basic questions and like see if they know it. But like that would be awesome to do during a debate. And maybe it's not a debate anymore. Maybe it's like a trial of like trial you have to get through in order to make it to the next level. like the trial of tribulation. So maybe that's more what I'm talking about. Yeah, maybe that doesn't work. But just hearing them debate is kind of not fun. I've never really gotten anything from the debates ever. So I just think they could like liven them up a little bit, like make them a little more fun. Like Donald Trump's president, like he knows how to run a reality TV show. He did like The Apprentice was a huge hit when he was on it. Ask him how to make the debate. He'll give you ideas. I mean, it's just like I just can't believe that whoever's in charge of this like didn't made it the way it was. So anyway, I guess they have another one in October. Who knows if it'll be any better? Maybe people will learn something. And the other thing is, I feel like this election, most people know exactly who they're voting for. Um, if you're voting for Donald Trump, you know it. If you're voting for Biden, you know it. I don't know how many people like don't know. If there's lots of independents that really don't know. So anyway, whoever you're voting for, may the best candidate win. So anyway, I'll talk more about that stuff as the election comes up. But as y'all know, I will never take a side on a person. I will take sides on issues. So anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. Things are going good in life, kinda, hopefully, and yeah, I'm just trying to do all my daily stuff and make it to the next day. So anyway, y'all, I guess that's everything, and I'll keep you guys updated. I should be doing a learning live session today, or I'm going to do both of them tomorrow, so look out for that. And yeah, that's everything. So later, guys. Have a good day.